Welcome to AI Assembled, the top AI news for small business. I'm Chris Doelle, and each week I bring you the most important AI developments that can transform your business. Let's dive into this week's top stories.
Welcome to AI Assembled, your weekly essential intelligence for small business AI. This week, enterprise AI crossed a critical threshold, moving from experimentation to execution. The data is unambiguous. 78% of organizations now use AI in at least one business function, up from 55% just a year earlier. And here's what matters for SMBs. The Deloitte State of AI in the Enterprise 2026 report reveals that worker access to AI rose by 50% in 2025, and companies with 40% of projects in production are set to double in the next 6 months. This isn't theory anymore. It's happening. The report surveyed over 3,200 senior leaders from August to September 2025, and the findings are clear. Productivity and efficiency lead the benefits, with 66% of organizations reporting gains. But here's the tension. Only 34% are truly reimagining their businesses, rather than just optimizing what already exists. That gap represents the difference between incremental improvement and transformative growth. The report is available now at Deloitte.com. Story 1. Deloitte State of AI, 78% enterprise adoption. The numbers tell a remarkable story. Adoption surged from 55% to 78% in 1 year, and the projections for SMBs are stunning. Expect dramatic expansion in the first half of 2026 as enterprise-grade AI tools filter down to smaller organizations at accessible price points. But there's a critical insight buried in this data. The AI skills gap is now the biggest barrier to integration. 53% of organizations are focusing on education to raise overall AI fluency. Yet far fewer are re-architecting roles, workflows, and career paths. The most successful organizations aren't just teaching their teams about AI. They're reimagining jobs to seamlessly combine human strengths with AI capabilities. For small businesses, this creates a rare window. You can move faster than large enterprises precisely because you have fewer layers. You can redesign processes without battling legacy bureaucracy. The tactical move for Q1 2026. Don't just train your team on AI tools. Redesign at least one core workflow to leverage AI as a structural component, not a bolt-on assistant. That's how you capture compound advantages. The report emphasizes what it calls the untapped edge. Success hinges on moving boldly from ambition to activation. For SMBs, that edge is sharper because you can activate faster. Story 2. Google Gemini Enterprise for Customer Experience. Google Cloud just unveiled Gemini Enterprise for Customer Experience at the National Retail Federation Conference. And this marks a fundamental shift from analytical AI to what's being called agentic AI. These aren't chatbots that answer questions. These are autonomous agents that plan, reason, and act on your behalf, under your supervision. The new shopping agent uses complex reasoning and multimodal capabilities, processing text, voice, and images, to autonomously build carts and execute consented actions. Think of it as a proactive digital concierge. Papa John's is already using an enhanced food ordering agent for natural language ordering across mobile, kiosks, and in-car systems, with intelligent upselling and real-time menu synchronization. What makes this different? Traditional systems told humans what was happening. Now, agentic systems act. They don't just flag an inventory imbalance, they correct it. They don't surface a churn risk, they trigger a tailored response. This is the shift from better dashboards to autonomous execution. For SMBs, here's the opportunity. Kroger, Lowe's, Papa John's, and Woolworths are using Gemini Enterprise for CX today to deliver elevated customer experiences. These tools are designed to deploy in days, not months, with pre-built and configurable agents. The barrier to entry for sophisticated AI is collapsing. Small businesses can now access the same agentic capabilities that were enterprise exclusive just months ago. Google's announcement emphasized agentic commerce, the move from passive browsing to active doing. Stephen Orban from Databricks noted that NRF has become as much a tech show as it is a retail show. Retailers are no longer shopping for monoliths. They're assembling ecosystems of models, tools, and partners that can be mixed, matched, and tuned to their business. The tactical takeaway: agentic AI is moving from back-office efficiency to frontline transformation. If you're in retail, e-commerce, or customer-facing operations, 2026 is the year to pilot agentic systems. The companies moving now will have 12 to 18 months of learning advantage over those who wait. Story 3. Microsoft 365 Copilot Business for SMBs. Microsoft announced Microsoft 365 Copilot Business, specifically designed for small and medium-sized businesses. And this is a watershed moment for SMB AI adoption. Copilot is now built directly into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams, the tools SMBs already use every day, without the complexity of enterprise-scale solutions. Here's what changed. Copilot Business makes AI-powered productivity accessible to organizations that don't have dedicated IT teams or enterprise budgets. For partners and service providers, this creates a packaging opportunity: deployment, onboarding, training, and ongoing services that drive long-term value and make AI a practical part of day-to-day work. The broader Microsoft Partner Update for January 2026 emphasized a critical shift in their AI Cloud Partner Program. Benefits packages are expanding in February 2026, with additional Copilot licenses, expanded security benefits, and new on-demand AI partner marketing resources. Microsoft is investing in making AI a core part of how SMBs grow, not just an add-on feature. Mike McCucci, CEO of Fabric, described the current moment perfectly. The real opening up is the operational aspect. Before AI reshapes customer experience, it's fixing internal plumbing, inventory allocation, fulfillment optimization, exception handling. These deliver immediate, compounding returns. For SMBs, the move is clear. Start with operational use cases where ROI is fast and measurable. Use Copilot to eliminate friction in email management, report generation, data analysis, and meeting summaries. Build fluency. Then expand to customer-facing workflows. The January partner announcements highlighted that AI is no longer something you buy. It's something you shape and steer. Small businesses that treat AI as infrastructure, customized, governed, and deeply integrated, will compound advantages through 2026.
Story 4. AI Agent. Market hits $10.9 billion in 2026. The AI agents market just crossed a major milestone, projected to exceed $10.9 billion in 2026, up from $7.6 billion in 2025, a 45% annual growth rate. And here's the key data point for small businesses. Gartner forecasts that 40% of enterprise applications will embed task-specific AI agents by 2026, up from less than 5% in 2025. That's an 8x increase in 1 year. CB Insights mapped over 400 AI agent startups across 16 categories as of November 2025, highlighting rapid ecosystem expansion. The practitioner research, covering 306 practitioners and 20 production case studies, identifies tooling, memory management, and observability as the top real-world success factors. But there's a critical warning. Over 40% of agentic AI projects are at risk of cancellation by 2027 if governance, observability, and ROI clarity are not established. The difference between success and failure isn't the technology, it's execution discipline. Customer service leads AI agent adoption globally, with 30 to 35% of mid to large enterprises using AI agents for first-line support. Why? 3 ideal conditions: high ticket volumes, clearly defined intents, and fast ROI validation. AI support agents now handle first-line queries, ticket triage, and routine resolutions autonomously, while escalating complex issues with full context, cutting response times and operating costs simultaneously. E-commerce ranks second, with 25 to 30% of enterprise e-commerce brands running or piloting AI shopping agents. These deliver 5 to 15% increases in checkout conversion rates and 10 to 20% increases in average order value. Technology, media, and telecom organizations show the highest experimentation rate at 35 to 40%, with the highest concentration of multi-agent deployments. For SMBs, the tactical insight is this: AI agents tie directly to board-level metrics: conversion, average order value, repeat purchases, and cost per ticket. Customer service and e-commerce offer the fastest paths to ROI. Healthcare and finance move more cautiously due to regulatory requirements, but administrative workflows in those sectors are ripe for automation. The market is projected to drive global GDP growth of 8 to 15% over the next decade. Generative AI users report time savings equivalent to 1.6% of all work hours. Since ChatGPT launched, AI may have increased global labor productivity by up to 1.3%. The strategic takeaway: 2026 is not the year to experiment, it's the year to execute. Task-specific agents with human-in-the-loop controls and clear KPIs will define winners. The next 12 months won't determine who is doing AI. They'll determine who is leading with it. Story 5. Retail 2026. AI becomes the operating system. SiliconANGLE's coverage of the National Retail Federation Conference captured a profound shift. AI is no longer a layer on top of retail operations. It has become the operating system. By 2027, AI will run merchandising, orchestrate supply chains, power marketing, and assist employees in real time. Databricks chief scientist Jonathan Frankel framed it plainly: AI is just a different kind of computing. CIO advisor Tim Crawford added, "We're moving past chatbots into systems that actually take action." That move, from suggestion to execution, forces architectural and governance changes that look far more like an operating system upgrade than a software rollout. One of the most surprising findings: smaller companies are leaning into agentic systems more aggressively than many large enterprises. Thea Meervold described getting retail clients live in less than a week, using AI to empower store associates and deliver high-touch, human-led experiences without enterprise-scale engineering. What once required massive IT teams now fits inside lean organizations. With fewer layers and tighter teams, small retailers deploy autonomous systems as force multipliers. Agents handle tasks that once required entire departments. Execution scales without proportional headcount. AI is quietly flattening the retail industry. The shift from scroll-based to goal-based shopping is already here. Customers show, speak, or ask, and receive outcomes, not just results. Associates can transact anywhere. Endless aisle becomes real as cloud inventory is exposed across channels. This is agentic commerce. AI doesn't just recommend, it negotiates attention, curates, learns, and responds. The tactical move for SMBs in retail. Physical and digital convergence is accelerating. Stores are becoming sensors. Floors are becoming data. The goal isn't to replace workers, but to give them superpowers with AI-powered insights on traffic patterns, dwell time, conversion behavior, and cross-channel journeys. But here's the constraint. Data is no longer the primary bottleneck. Infrastructure is no longer the primary bottleneck. People are. The ability to design, deploy, govern, and operate intelligent systems is scarce. The retailers that invest in talent, training, and organizational design will compound their advantage. Strategy isn't the risk factor. Execution is. Story 6. 11 Labs, $11 billion valuation. 11 Labs, the voice AI company, is now in talks to raise funding at an $11 billion valuation, according to the Financial Times. This valuation reflects the explosive growth in AI-powered voice technology and its applications across customer service, content creation, and accessibility. For context, 11 Labs powers some of the most natural-sounding text-to-speech technology available today, with applications ranging from audiobook narration to real-time voice agents for customer support. The company's rapid ascent highlights how voice is becoming a critical interface layer for AI agents. This matters for SMBs because voice AI is moving from a nice-to-have to an essential channel. As agentic systems handle more customer interactions, voice becomes the primary interface for accessibility, speed, and natural engagement. Companies like Papa John's are already deploying voice-powered ordering systems. Call centers are piloting AI voice agents that handle first-line support with near-human fluency. The $11 billion valuation signals investor confidence that voice will be a foundational layer of the AI economy, on par with text and vision. For small businesses, this means voice-first experiences will become table stakes in 2026 and beyond. Whether it's answering customer calls, enabling hands-free ordering, or providing accessibility options, voice AI is no longer optional for businesses focused on customer experience. The broader trend? AI companies focusing on specific modalities, voice, vision, reasoning, are commanding massive valuations because they provide the building blocks for agentic systems. 11 Labs' growth trajectory mirrors what we're seeing across the AI agent market. Rapid adoption, clear ROI, and investor conviction that this technology is infrastructure, not a feature.
Story 7. Physical AI gains traction, 58% adoption. Today, 80% by 2028. Physical AI, robots, autonomous vehicles, drones, and intelligent systems that interact with the physical world, is no longer science fiction. The Deloitte State of AI report reveals that 58% of companies report at least limited use of physical AI today, and that figure is projected to reach 80% within 2 years, with Asia-Pacific leading in early implementation. Common use cases include collaborative robots on assembly lines, inspection drones with automated response capabilities, robotic picking arms, and autonomous forklifts. Adoption is especially advanced in manufacturing, logistics, and defense, where robotics and autonomous vehicles are already reshaping operations. At the National Retail Federation Conference, the Physical World Awakening was a major theme. Simulation-driven logistics, autonomous movement, and robotic handling are being stitched into the fabric of distribution centers and warehouses. As digital intelligence meets physical execution, retail builds adaptive systems that respond to the real world, not just models of it. For small businesses, physical AI remains early but not inaccessible. Collaborative robots are becoming affordable for SMB manufacturers. Autonomous delivery systems are expanding. Warehouse automation is moving down market. The lesson from early adopters: start with pilot projects in controlled environments, pick and pack workflows, last mile delivery, quality inspection, where ROI is measurable and risk is contained. The timeline matters. If 80% of companies will use physical AI by 2028, the leaders are deploying today. The laggards will face a steep learning curve. Physical AI requires new workflows, safety protocols, and integration with existing systems. Starting small in 2026 positions you for scale in 2027 and 2028. Story 8. AI investment returns 3.7 times ROI. BCG research shows that organizations report an average 3.7 times return on investment for every dollar invested in generative AI, and high-maturity AI adopters achieve 3 times higher ROI than those in early testing phases. This data validates what early adopters have been experiencing. AI isn't just reducing costs, it's driving measurable business value. The breakdown of benefits from the Deloitte report is instructive. 66% of organizations report productivity and efficiency gains. 53% see enhanced insights and decision-making. 40% achieve cost reductions. 38% enhance client and customer relationships. And 20% report revenue increases from AI initiatives today, though 74% aspire to grow revenue through AI in the future. For SMBs, the gap between cost reduction and revenue growth represents the frontier. The early wins come from efficiency, automating repetitive tasks, reducing manual workload, accelerating workflows. The compounding wins come from reimagining business models, new products, new services, new customer experiences that weren't possible before. The tactical insight: high-maturity adopters achieve 3x higher ROI because they move beyond surface-level optimization. They redesign processes. They embed AI into decision-making. They measure outcomes, not just outputs. Small businesses that treat AI as a strategic platform, not a productivity hack, will capture disproportionate value. 92% of companies plan to invest in generative AI over the next 3 years. The question isn't whether to invest. It's how to invest, with discipline, clarity, and a path to measurable ROI. Story 9. AI usage jumped from 33% to 71% in 1 year. Between 2023 and 2024, generative AI usage in organizations jumped from 33% to 71%, a staggering acceleration. This isn't enterprise-only adoption. Small and medium-sized businesses are moving just as fast, driven by accessible tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, and Claude. The implications for SMBs: AI is becoming a baseline capability, not a differentiator. The competitive advantage no longer comes from using AI. It comes from using AI well. The difference between dabbling and deploying is governance, repeatability, and integration into core workflows. The data also reveals a critical challenge. 56% of companies cite poor data quality as a major obstacle to AI implementation. Nearly half report difficulties in defining an effective AI operational model. These aren't technical problems, they're organizational problems. The winners will be the ones who solve for data cleanliness, governance, and change management alongside technology deployment. For small businesses, the advantage is speed and focus. You can clean up your data faster because you have less of it. You can define an operational model faster because you have fewer stakeholders. You can iterate faster because you have shorter decision cycles. The move for 2026. If you're part of the 71%, it's time to move from experimentation to execution. Pick 3 high-impact workflows. Deploy AI with clear KPIs. Measure weekly. Iterate fast. That's how you turn adoption into advantage. Story 10. Inference becomes the new battleground. As AI moves into production at scale, a new economic reality emerges. Every recommendation, forecast, and decision carries a cost. At retail and customer service volumes, inefficiencies multiply fast. Latency becomes experience. Throughput becomes revenue. Architecture becomes strategy. Salesforce's Nitin Mangtani framed it in business terms. The moment you reduce friction on commerce, the pie increases. That's why inference performance, cost, and reliability are moving into boardroom conversations. These are no longer engineering trade-offs, they're growth levers. This shift is driving a new class of hybrid AI stacks, mixing proprietary systems with open components to optimize performance at scale. Organizations are no longer asking, which model is best? They're asking, which model is best for this task at this cost, at this latency? For SMBs, inference economics will become visible in 2026 as usage scales. The early-stage approach, throwing API calls at problems, works for pilots. But as you scale to thousands or millions of interactions per month, costs compound. The move. Start tracking inference costs by use case now. Identify which workflows justify premium models and which can run on smaller, faster, cheaper alternatives. Tim Crawford's warning echoes here. You can't build a Frankenstein of data architecture. The winners pair openness with rigor, treating models like infrastructure, customized, governed, and deeply integrated into how the business runs. Action Plan. 5 steps for 30 days. Step 1. Audit your AI stack now. If you're already using AI tools, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Zapier, or others, audit your usage and costs this week. Track which workflows rely on AI, what you're spending, and where you're seeing ROI. This baseline is critical before you scale. Step 2. Pilot 1 agentic workflow. Choose a single high-impact workflow, customer support triage, e-commerce cart recovery, meeting summaries, or invoice processing, and deploy an AI agent with a clear success metric. Deploy in days, not months. Measure weekly, iterate fast. Step 3. Invest in AI fluency training. The AI skills gap is the biggest barrier to integration. Schedule team training sessions this month, not just on tools, but on how to redesign workflows around AI capabilities. Fluency compounds. Ignorance is expensive. Step 4. Explore Microsoft 365 Copilot Business or Gemini Enterprise for CX. If you're an SMB in retail, e-commerce, or customer-facing operations, request demos of Microsoft 365 Copilot Business and Google Gemini Enterprise for customer experience. These tools are designed to deploy fast and deliver immediate productivity gains. February 2026 brings expanded benefits. Position yourself now. Step 5. Track inference costs by use case. If you're running AI at scale, start tracking inference costs separately for each workflow. Identify which use cases justify premium models and which can run on smaller, faster alternatives. This discipline will protect margins as you scale. That's AI Assembled for this week, January 26, 2026. The AI execution threshold has been crossed. Small businesses have enterprise-grade tools. Physical AI is entering production. And the winners in 2026 won't be those who experiment. They'll be those who execute with discipline, clarity, and speed. See you next week.
That's it for this week's AI Assembled, the top AI news for small business. If you found this valuable, share it with a fellow business owner. If you want a hands-on group that you can work with on your specific AI needs, consider joining Business Success Academy at freshmediaworks.com/BSA. Until next week, keep innovating and keep it real.